Good morning, student of class 7. Today we will study chapter 6 of English literature, The Adventure of Blue Carbuncle. This chapter already introduced. There are mainly two characters, Dr. Watson and Sherlock Holmes. And this story actually detective story. In the starting of the chapter you have already done some activity. So here suddenly a group of rough young men attacked the tall man. One of the young men knocked the tall man's hat off. He raised his stick to defend himself and accidentally smashed the shop behind him. Peterson came forward to protect the tall man from his attackers. The tall man thought Peterson was a policeman, so he dropped the goose and ran away. The young man also ran away. Peterson then picked up the hat and goose and brought them to Sherlock Holmes. Means in the second para, you know that means Peterson has given goose to Sherlock Holmes, and how here given that there are some attackers are there. They have actually hit a tall man, and actually they have tall man hats, and they kicked him, and accidentally Peterson was there, and Peterson just saved the tall man, and attackers they are thinking that Peterson is a policeman. This is the reason they have just left the goose, and now he has taken Peterson, and now he has given to Sherlock Holmes. And now Sherlock Holmes had kept the hat and given the goose to Peterson for his wife to cook. A card attached to the bird was addressed to Mrs. Henry Baker, and the initial HB were imprinted on the hat, suggesting it belonged to Mr. Henry Baker. From the size and appearance of the hat, Holmes deduced that Henry Baker was an intelligent man and was less well off than he had been earlier, and a man of self respect. At this point, Peterson returned to tell them that during the preparation, okay, now next page. So here description is that Sherlock Holmes had kept the hat and given the goose to Peterson for his wife to. Actually, Sherlock Holmes has means Peterson has given goose to Sherlock Holmes, but Sherlock Holmes has given it goose to Peterson. Why? To for his wife to cook. And actually, on the bird there is a card attached. They have noticed that this was addressed to Mr. Henry Baker, means HB written. Okay, it means who means gooses of suggesting that who gooses belong to Mr. Henry Baker. And from the size and appearance of the hat, Holmes deduced that Henry Baker was an intelligent man, was less well off than he had been earlier, a man of self-respect. Here check in the figure, all they are talking about it. And now by the size and means other things, now Sherlock Holmes has understood that hat and goose both are belong to Mr. Henry Baker, and that person was an intelligent person, a man of self-respect. At this point, Peterson returned to tell them that during the preparation, and now next page, for cooking, Mrs. Peterson had found a blue diamond in the stomach of the goose. And now you know that Sherlock Holmes has given it to Peterson, why to his wife to cook it. But during when they are preparing for cooking, so now Mr. Peterson has got a blue diamond. Here check in the goose, and here check in the blue diamond in the stomach. Okay, now the blue diamond was the blue carbuncle, a precious stone that was stolen from the room of Hotel Cosmopolitan, and it belonged to the Countess Morcar. And now actually blue diamond, that blue diamond was the blue carbuncle, and actually that is a very precious stone is there, and that actually was stolen from where? From the Hotel Cosmopolitan. And actually that was of Countess Morker. Now, more detail here. The blue carbuncle was stolen on 22nd December. John Horner, a plumber, was accused of stealing it. James Radden, an employee at the hotel, had called up the police and said that he had shown Horner called the police and said that he had shown Horner the room of Countess of Morker for some repair work. As he had some work in hand, he left the room, and when he returned, Horner had disappeared and the diamond had been stolen. Hence, John Horner was arrested. And now, actually, blue carbuncle, blue diamond that was stolen from the Hotel Cosmopolitan on 22nd of December. And actually, there is a plumber, John Horner, actually was accused, means everyone they are thinking that John Horner has stolen the was a plumber and has stolen the blue diamond. James Ryder, there is an employee of the hotel, he called up the police and he has noticed John Horner. How? When he has noticed John Horner has come the hotel and he was doing some work, plumbering work, you understand. And actually when he has returned and actually he has gone, and now he has John means this person James Ryder has noticed that blue diamond also missed, stolen, and John Horner was not there. This is the reason James Ryder has called up the police and said that John Horner was accused, and after that, John Horner was arrested. Now, Sherlock Holmes placed an advertisement in the evening paper so that Henry Baker could come and collect his things from the Baker Street. Henry Baker turned up and took his things. He was completely unaware of the blue carbuncle. In fact, he was more worried about the goose. So Holmes gave him a fresh one. Henry Baker then told Sherlock Holmes that he had bought the goose at the Alpha Inn. Now, note, understand here. Sherlock Holmes, and after that, when Sherlock Holmes Peterson was there, means blue diamond they have got received, and after that he means how they will meet Mr. Henry Baker, who was the owner, means actually they are thinking. So this is the reason they has given placed an advertisement in the newspaper, evening newspaper, so that Henry Baker will come and collect the blue diamond from the Baker Street. But actually, Henry Baker turned up and took his things. He was completely unaware of the blue carbuncle, in fact. And after that, Henry Baker has took up all the things, but he does not know that there is any blue diamond also there. He does not know, and he was actually thinking, worry about mainly about goose. And after that, so Holmes given him fresh goose. And after that, Henry Baker then told Sherlock Holmes that he had bought the goose at the Alpine. And after that, actually, Henry Baker has said he was not the real owner, means he has bought it also from where? From the Alpha Inn. Then Holmes and Watson set out to find out the blue about the blue carbuncle. They went to the local inn where Henry Baker had bought the goose. They found out the goose had been bought from a salesman called Breckenridge in the Covent Garden. When Henry Baker has said that actually I have bought it from the Alpha Inn. Now Dr. Watson and Sherlock Holmes both they have gone where? They have gone to Alpha Inn about more detail who was the real owner. And after that they have got that means there is a salesman named Breckenridge. He has sold Henry Baker that goose. And after, so Holmes and Watson went to the Covent Garden market to get some information from Breckenridge, and Breckenridge told them that he had bought the goose from Mrs. Oakshott, a poultry and egg purveyor in Britain. After Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson had walked some distance away from the Covent Garden market, and they heard angry voices from the stall they had left. Turning around, they saw Brigandage arguing with a man. Suddenly, the man turned and ran off down the dark street. And now, so when they have noticed, means they have got the detail that salesman Brigandage. So and he was in Covent Garden. So Dr. Watson and Sherlock Holmes both they have gone in the Covent Garden to get more detail about Breckenridge. And actually, Breckenridge told that he had also bought that goose from somewhere else. Here given from Mrs. Oakshott. There's a poultry farm, understand? Egg verifier in Britain. So Mrs. Oakshott he has taken. And after that, Sherlock and Dr. Watson again they have gone away from the Covent Garden, and after that they have noticed that there is a cracking voice, angry voice, means Brickend is arguing something, discussing something. And now suddenly that man has, means whom with Brickend was arguing, that person has ran off from the street. And Dr. Holmes and Dr. Watson followed the man and soon caught up with him. The man told them that his name was James Ryder. Holmes then asked James Ryder to accompany him to Baker Street. Holmes then told him about the goose and the blue carbuncle that came out of it. James Ryder confessed his crime and told the whole story. Now, Holmes and Watson followed the man, and now you know that Breckenridge, and there was a man who was arguing with Breckenridge. So, and that man has walked, ran off from the dark street. Now, Dr. Watson and Sherlock Holmes, both they have followed the man who was the person that arguing with Breckenridge, and now they have caught him, and now they have understood who was there, James Ryder, and who was James Ryder, an employee of Hotel Cosmopolitan. And after that, Holmes then asked James Ryder to accompany him to Baker Street. And after Holmes, Sherlock Holmes has said to James Ryder to go with him where, to the Baker Street. And after that, Holmes has just Sherlock Holmes has shown goose and blue carbuncle, everything. And after that, James Ryder James Ryder confessed and told the whole story, how it happened. Now, Ryder had come to know about the blue carbuncle from the Catherine Cusick, the maid of the Countess of Morcar. Ryder had stolen the diamond and wanted to leave no track of being the thief. So he had framed John Horner. And after that, James Ryder has said how he has done and how he has accused a plumber John Horner, but actually he was not done. James Ryder has done it. So now he has said one day he has James Ryder has said one day he has noticed the blue carbuncle from where, from the Catherine Cusick, the maid of the Countess of Morgan. And after that he has decided to steal the blue diamond, and without any tracking he has accused the main person